Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to read in the Old Testament, from the book of Exodus, chapter 32, verses 1 through 6, starting with the English Standard Version. When the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, the people gathered themselves together to Aaron and said to him, "Up, make us gods who shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." So Aaron said to them, "Take off the rings of gold that are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people took off the rings of gold that were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hand and fashioned it with a graving tool and made a golden calf. And they said, "These are our gods, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt." When Aaron saw this, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, "Tomorrow shall be a feast to the Lord." And they rose up early the next day and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And they sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Now, New Century Version. The people saw that a long time had passed and Moses had not come down from the mountain. So they gathered around Aaron and said, "Moses led us out of Egypt, but we don't know what has happened to him. Make us gods who will lead us." Aaron said to the people, "Take off the gold earrings that your wives and sons and daughters are wearing and bring them to me." So all the people took off their gold earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took the gold from the people and formed it with a tool and made a statue of a calf. Then the people said, "Israel, these are your gods who brought you out of the land of Egypt." When Aaron saw all of this, he built an altar before the calf and announced, "Tomorrow there will be a special feast to honor the Lord." The people got up early the next morning and offered whole burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, and they sat down to eat, drink, and then they got up and sinned sexually. Okay, so there is a lot to unpack in these 6 verses. I'll be honest, I don't quite know exactly where I want to go, so I'm going to try to cover a couple of small things in a short amount of time. The biggest thing I want to cover is how quickly people in general lose focus, lose hope, lose sight, whatever term you want to use. They were led out of Egypt. They saw all of the miracles that God was performing. They saw the 10 plagues that God had placed upon the Egyptians. They saw all of that, basically seeing God's power. And they still said, "Hey, we don't know what's going on with this Moses. We don't know if he just up and left and abandoned us, or if he got killed. We don't know what's going on. We need something that we can physically see so that we can worship it." They lost sight of a God that is not seen to focus on something that is seen, something that is fake, that has no actual power. Now, as we read later in this chapter, we see that God tells Moses, "Hey, go down there. The people are going against me. Go down there and put a stop to it." Moses does. He grinds this golden calf into dust. He breaks the first 2 stones of the Ten Commandments because of his anger. But either way, he gets them to put their focus back on the true God. And that's what we need to do today. We can't be distracted. We can't lose sight of God. We need to be focused on the one true God. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.